Straight to it, running to the back like I'm in the base bird. Got straight to it, running to the back like I'm late to it. Got so much drive, I need brake fluid. Niggas don't do it like the Bay do it. See, I'm gonna get the bag of die trying. You ain't got a bag for you lying. Bitch, I'm about to bat like I'm TV. Fucking around in the lab like I'm. Me and my pops built this like wood shop. The brakes went out. I wish I could stop. I ain't no. Walk up, got straight to it. Running to the back like I'm late to it. Got so much drive, I need brake fluid. Niggas don't do it like the Bay do it. See, I'm gonna get the bag of die trying. You ain't got a bag, boy, you lying. Bitch, I'm about to bat like I'm TV. Fucking around in the lab like I'm. Me and my pops built this like wood shop. The brakes went out, I wish I could stop. I ain't no mechanic, but I make the hood. Me from the bottom, I need some good beat men.
All right, let me let everybody in here. Get a little pop, get it a little pop. You know what? We got to bring this back, though.
Got straight to it. Running to the back like I'm late to it. Got so much drive, I need brake fluid. Niggas don't do it like the Bay do it. See, I'm gonna get the bag of die trying. You ain't got a bag, boy, you lying. Bitch, I'm about to bat like I'm TV. Fucking around in the lab like I'm. Me and my pops built this like wood shop. The brakes went out, I wish I could stop. I ain't no mechanic, but I make the hood. Me from the bottom, I need some good beat men.
All right, let's do it.
Got straight to it. Running to the back like I'm late to it.
All right, welcome to the Rich Forever AI Money Machine. Let me take it back up to the top. Get y'all started. Stop. Okay. So, AI Money Machine, Billionaire Blueprint in the house. I'm so happy to see all of y'all here. This is gonna be dope, right? This is gonna be super dope. Let me make sure I'm recording. Okay, we are recording. Got recording on. Make sure y'all can see my screen. What else I need to turn on? Make sure I got this chat. Got the chat ready to go. All right, mic check, mic check. Somebody let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Somebody say. Somebody tell me you can hear me. Can y'all hear my voice? Check, check. Or y'all actually, let me see. We had the attendees. Let me make sure you got y'all in here. Okay. We ready to roll? Ready to roll? Let's see. Make sure I got my attendees in here. Allowed to talk. Let's see. Okay, we ready to go? Let's go. AI Money Machine, the Billionaire Blueprint. It's the Billionaire Blueprint for generational wealth or for rebuilding Black wealth, whatever you prefer. But I'm about to show you guys how to get it. This is an opportunity. Let's talk about this. This is an opportunity to change everything. That's why I'm so excited about this. We are living in the AI revolution, AI 2.0, an AI era that is unlike anything we've ever seen before. And so there's just this tremendous amount of opportunity, just a tremendous amount of opportunity for us to just take our financial literacy, our financial independence, our financial security, all of the financials. This is our opportunity to take it to a supreme level. I really believe that. I really believe because you got to be in the right place at the right time. 90% of life is timing. So you got to be in the right place at the right time. So in the chat, drop a little something in the chat. Drop the city you from in the chat. Let me know you in here. Okay, everybody start dropping where they from in the chat. Let me know you in here. Hold on 1 second. Let me check one thing real quick. Okay. All right. So look, drop. Let's go back. Drop where you from. Drop the city you from in the chat so I know who's in here. So I know who's in here. Vegas in the house, representing for Vegas. Hey, all my Vegas homies. Oh, Atlanta in here. San Diego. Of course, Dago gonna be in here, represent for the hometown, home team. Not really the home team. I'm a Cowboy fan instead of a Charger fan, but the home team when I talk about the homies. That's what I really mean. So what's on today's agenda? Okay, we're gonna make it short and sweet, but I'm gonna make sure I teach you what I need to teach you so you can get to a bag. How about that? We could have just really said what's on today's agenda. Today's agenda is how to get a bag in the stock market, how to trade options, and how to build how to create multiple streams of income and build sustainable wealth. And we're going to do that by number one, I'm going to teach you 4 ways that you can use AI as your virtual personal trading assistant and wealth coach. Then I'm going to teach you 5 ways to make 10K plus per month trading options. And last but not least, we're going to finish it up. And I'm going to show you the 6 places where you need to go if you want to find huge AI profits. All right. Does that sound good with everybody? And I want y'all to hold me accountable. I'm a person who believes in personal accountability. So I want y'all to hold me accountable. And so you get your pens and your papers, and we're going to have a checklist. We're going to go through this and we're going to have a lot of fun, right? Okay. So who am I? I'm Coach Micah. Give you a little background for me. I graduated from Morehouse College. I also have certificates from Columbia, Harvard. I'm also a certified high performance coach, and I'm also a certified financial Dave Ramsey financial coach. So I'm more than qualified, but that don't really mean that I know how to get to a bag. This mean I know how to get to a bag. You see this: 14,000 in one day, 18,000 in one day, 21,000 one day. That's one day's work, light work. It don't always happen like this. So let me qualify this and say it doesn't always happen like this. But if you stay down until you come up, you will get to a point where you see these kind of days. Well, I don't, you know what? My lawyers will not let me get. If you do what you're supposed to do and the market cooperates and you put yourself in a position to be successful, these kinds of days are possible. Let me say it that way. All right. So I am a father of 5, and ladies, I'm sorry, I'm married. Um, Beautiful wife right here, Callie, and then you see my 5 beautiful children. But you also see right here, I'm a real championship winning coach too. I don't just coach online. I really coach. I coached all the players. We didn't win the championship this year. I need to find but this was the best picture I had, but I need to find the picture. They all big now, but I need to find a picture when we won the championship. So I can put that on here. Got to remember to do that. So this was that little number 7, big now. He's grown. But a beautiful wife again, 5 beautiful children. Not gonna tell y'all names because I don't know you guys. I don't know if anybody's any weirdos on here stalking. So, but I'm gonna do this first, right? Let's get this out the way. Full transparency, all of that. Even went to school, got the degree, and I know people, well, you went to college, and yeah, still had to do a little dirt. And like Jay-Z said, I I never claim to have wings on. I get my by any means on, right? So I went to jail for $8 million money laundering and loan conspiracy back in the days. It was a minor setback for a major comeback, and I learned a lot. And that's where I really started to formulate the Rich Forever, the Rich Forever University, and this whole idea of creating a platform where I was going to be able to teach. Because I used to be a stockbroker, and they banned me from the stock market, and they banned me. They wouldn't let they took my license. They said I couldn't get a license. They didn't take it. Say I couldn't get a license back to be a broker, which I didn't want to be anyway. Because I'm a firm believer that everybody should manage their own money. The fastest way for you to lose money investing is to give it to somebody else to invest for you. So for me, my belief is that everyone should learn how to invest for themselves, and then they should be teaching their children. It's your responsibility to teach your children how to invest. So, what's this like? Just like if you stay until the end, I've got some free goodies for you that are going to help you collapse time and start making money faster. You got to stay into its entirety, but I promise you it will be worth it. If you stay to the end, I'm going to have something that you really, really like. Can't tell you right now though, because it's a surprise. See what kind of patience y'all have. Do y'all know they actually did a study? They did a study where it's a marshmallow study. They did a study at Stanford University, and they had these kids, and they gave the kids a marshmallow, and they said they could have one marshmallow now, or if they waited for an hour, that they could have two or three marshmallows. I forget the actual number. And so some kids ate the marshmallow right away. Some kids waited, ate the marshmallow, and they got the bonus marshmallows. They went back and they looked at the kids 10 years later and 20 years later, and they discovered that the kids that had the ability to wait and delay gratification ended up having higher SAT scores, getting into better schools and getting better jobs and having higher incomes. So I say that to say 90% of life is timing, but you also got to have patience because good things come to those who wait. So important. There will be no replay of this. So before we get started, I want to make sure you turn off your phones, put them on you don't have to turn them off, but put them on do not disturb. Put them on do not disturb, and don't get distracted. And unless it's just something that's super mandatory that you have to answer for, but pay attention to what I'm teaching you, because whoever calling you is not going to be talking to you about making the kind of money that I'm about to help you make. Okay?
Sorry, can you pause it for real quick? Your mom called me.
Okay, hold on. We do got to pause because my mom is calling. Okay, I'm back. Is my sharing pause? Hold on, one more sharing pause. Let me see. Resume. Okay, I'm back. My mom called. Things change, so we know. Like sometimes, of course, you know how this go too. Mama's gonna call while you're doing your presentation. Some people you gotta stop. For mom and the kids, you gotta stop. So if mom or kids is interrupting, then it's funny. We have perfect timing though, right? She came in on the do not disturb. How funny is that? So look. Anyway. Get a pen and paper because I'm gonna go fast, but I'm gonna be giving you game. Okay, I'm gonna be giving you game. I'm gonna be giving you game you can use to make a lot of money. All right. So what we're gonna be talking about today's real topic is all about financial freedom. And what is financial freedom? I define financial freedom as being able to live off the cash flow from your investments. That is the ultimate, right? That's the ultimate goal, is to be able to live off the cash flow generated from your investments so that you don't have to go to work unless you want to go to work, right? So example would be, let's say that your bills are $10,000 a month. If you got a $100,000 portfolio and you can generate 10% a month off of that portfolio, then you are financially free, right? Because you can cover your bills without working. So that's what we're trying to do. Is I'm going to show you a skill you can use. I'm not telling you to leave your 9 to 5. Don't quote me as saying that, because I am a firm believer that everyone should have a job, a business, and an investment portfolio. So at least three streams of income: income from a job, income from a business, income from your investment portfolio. Okay. So that's 3 streams of income. The average millionaire actually has 7 streams of income. But what I'm about to show you, well, I'm gonna get to it. You could get multiple streams of income just from what I'm about to teach you. Okay. So let's go where I want to go to the next one. All right. Okay. So let's talk about this. Let's get it out the way right away. Black people, we in last place. Now, that being said, Rich forever. Everybody's invited. But I built this with black people in mind because I want to help us catch up. Right now, we have the lowest net worth, $45,000 basically, compared to 285,000 for white Americans, 231,000 for Asians, 61,000 for Latinos. We got to do better. All of us can do better, but we especially have to do better. Okay. And I'm a person who I talk more, I'm more concerned. This is not going to be one of those platforms where we make it. I'm more concerned with solutions than the problem. So I'm a problem solver. And so I'm here to solve that problem. Now, right now, only 2% of black families are millionaires. My plan is to generate and help grow 1,000 millionaires. And then we're going to do what I call the Millionaire March. So that's, and I'll talk about the Millionaire March later on in this presentation. But we're going to remember the Million Man March. We're going to do a Millionaire March on Washington in 2054. Because right now, the studies are predicting that the median net worth of Black Americans will drop to zero by 2053. So we got something for them. We're gonna get in the stock market. We're gonna learn how to trade options. We're gonna get our real estate right. We're gonna grow our net worth, and we're gonna have 1,000. We're gonna have 1,000,000 millionaires. I'm gonna push it. I'm pushing to create 1,000 of them, and I'm staying in shape. So I will be marching with my crew on the White House in the second version of the Millionaire March in 2054. So let's talk about this even a little bit more, though. I almost took this slide out, but I left it in because I need y'all to see this. More than 50% of homeless families are Black. And the reason why I put this slide in there is because I was in LA the other day, and and my daughter lives in Hollywood, so she's an actress out there. And so I get off the freeway going to Hollywood, and I see a camp I see tents and camps and all kind of homeless people out there, and I was like, I couldn't believe how bad that part of LA has deteriorated. How bad that part of Hollywood has deteriorated. And you got people like homeless people just right everywhere. Everywhere. And that's a direct product of not being able to afford housing, right? If we think about what homeless is, it don't mean, I don't care if you own drugs, if you don't have, these people don't make enough money for the basic, just to put a roof over their heads. And right now, and this was in 2019, it was estimated that it was 568,000 back then that had experienced homelessness. And I say that number is probably closer to 1,000,000 now. So, and I say that to say this. The middle class is disappearing. We got the haves and the have-nots. Okay? We got the haves and the have-nots. And so it ain't going to be no middle class and average. It's going to be, you're going to be broke, you're going to be rich, or you're going to be broke at the end of the day. It take about $200,000 to put you in the top 10% of income earners in America. 194,000 and some change. Well, let's just call it 200,000. So I say that to say, if you had a system that could help you generate $10,000 a month, working from home or anywhere from now into infinity, like Buzz Lightyear says, to infinity and beyond. Is it messing up again?
She says it doesn't work.
Huh?
She said that doesn't work.
Okay, hold on 1 second again, guys. 0705. Okay.
0705.
Okay.
What? 0705.
Okay. Lost my train of thought. Where was I? Okay. Back on the system, right? The system I'm about to teach you today is the AI money machine system, and I'm gonna give you the my 3D mattress money system. These are systems that you can use to generate 10,000. And I'm being conservative when I say 10,000. There's really no limit, but 10,000 is a catchy number, right? I got y'all attention with that. So I said 10,000, but I already showed you the slides and you see it was actually we were getting more money than that. But let me ask you this. Can I have your consent to ask you some questions about what you've been doing with your investments already? It's a no judgment zone because most of the people, I'll have you know that 70% of Americans are live paycheck to paycheck and are behind on their retirement savings and do not have enough exposure. Hold on one second again, guys. All right, my apologies, everybody. Mom is in the store, forgot her PIN number, and we trying to figure all this out. I must have forgot her PIN number too. I don't know why I would know her PIN number, but anyway,
I'm sorry.
let's try this one more time. Woosah. Okay, so big question, right? We want to ask this question right here, right? Okay, I want y'all to put 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. How many of you own more Nike shoes than Nvidia shares? If you do, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. I'm not going to expose anybody, and it's not, like I said, this is a no judgment, right? I'm doing this exercise for a reason. How many of you have missed out on either the smartphone boom, the social media boom, or the Bitcoin boom? Put a 2 in the chat. Okay. And last but not least, if you've had a Netflix account for more than 5 years, but you don't own any Netflix stock, put a 3 in. Put a 3 in the chat. Okay. All right. Why did I do that? I did that because I want you to know that investing is way easier than you've been led to believe it is. And that you've been being trained and you've been being trained to be a consumer, but not an investor. All of us have had opportunities to invest in these billion-dollar companies and make tons of money, and it's right under our nose. We don't have to find a company that's going to cure cancer, even though it would be great. We don't have to find a company that comes up that discovered electricity. It would be great. It's companies that come right under our nose that we use every day. that we could make thousands and thousands of dollars investing in. Okay? So we know at Rich Forever, we know exactly what you need to make consistent high profit trades. In this class, I'm going to show you step by step how to use artificial intelligence and my mattress money system for you to turn small moves into huge profits with AI and with options. Okay? I'm going to show you how you combine them together so that you can get you a real bag. Okay, so let's be real about the problem. People that are not making money, it's because they don't have a clear, repeatable system. They don't know what stocks to trade. They don't know when to get in and out of the trades. And they don't know how to manage risk and capital efficiently. And if you're not doing these things, then you're not trading like a pro, you're gambling. And gambling in the stock market is the fastest way for you to go pro. So the old way of investing, what most traders are doing is they chase stocks after they get FOMO, right? They start chasing stocks after they're already extended. They pay too much. We all hear buy low, sell high, but everybody wants to buy high. Now, I will say you can buy high, sell higher and make money, but you give yourself a better opportunity when you know how to buy low, sell high. Okay. And when we're talking about options, big mistake people make is they buy the cheapest calls. They buy these calls that because they're cheap and they think that they're going to make tons of money on them. And most of the time they end up losing. And that's why you hear option trading is dangerous from some people because they don't know what they're talking about. One, and number two, because the people who don't know what they're doing buy the cheapest options. And I'll say something right here. The cheapest options are the hardest ones to make money with. So y'all say that right there. Think about what I just said. The cheapest options are the hardest ones to make money with. Okay. So the new way, the Rich Forever way, the AI money machine way is we use AI to help us find high probability setups. We use spreads to lower the cost of our options. So instead of buying cheap options, we use spreads to make our options cheaper. What does that mean? I'm going to explain it to you later. Just rock with me. Just rock with me, okay? We always have a trading plan and we stay in the buy zone. Every trading plan has a buy zone, a profit target, and a stop loss. If you don't have a buy zone, a profit target, and a stop loss, then don't place the trade. This is the fundamentals, right? This is shooting in the gym. This is the layup line. You gotta learn how to dribble. You gotta learn how to make a layup before you can start shooting 3-pointers. But everybody wanna come shoot like Steph Curry. So, well, I'm about to teach you. We're gonna let AI do 80% of the work. How about that? So, JSYK, I just made that up, right? What is that? Anybody know what that means? Just so you know, right? Everything you've been taught about building wealth up to this point, it's wrong. It's wrong. I wish I could do. I want to do my Charlie Murphy voice. Wrong. I don't know if that was a good Charlie, if that was a good Charlie imitation or not. So, and not having this information is costing different people. It's costing you a lot of money because we don't even talk about it. Let's talk about you. Not having the information is expensive. Remember in higher learning when Lawrence Fishburne says you got to have, without information, you cannot seize power. One cannot seize power. Dr. Phipps, remember that? I'm the only one here who saw higher learning. That's crazy. Well, y'all gonna get some higher learning right now. So look, how much is not having this information costing you? These numbers are based on if you have put $1,000 a month into these companies for 10 years. This is how much it will be worth now based on how much those companies have grown over the last 10 years. So $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. 10 years, it's $120,000, right? But not all at once. That's $120,000. And I know some people are like $1,000 a month. $1,000, you buying something. You understand where it goes. That $1,000 a month, okay? That $1,000 a month, if you had put it in Apple, will be $426,000. If you had put it in Microsoft, it'd be $761,000. NVIDIA, it'd be $869,000. Amazon, it'd be $541,000. Google, it would be $747,000. You use all of these products, and you've probably been using all of these products more than 10 years. That's why I put them on here. And that $1,000 a month could have turned into not generational wealth, but it could have did a nice, it could have had given you a nice spike in your net worth. And let's look at if you would have done it with options. If you did it with options, and I just estimated this, right? Because when you learn how to trade options, right, you're gonna make 2 to 5 times what you would make in stock returns. So if you was buying options, that 426,000 would be somewhere between 850 and 2 million. 1.5 and 3.5 million in Microsoft, and we don't even really want to talk about NVIDIA. 1.7 to 4.3 million. Y'all writing this down? Because I'm about to show you. And I know some people be like, well, I couldn't do it without. Listen, this chick right here turned $5,000 into $22 million. You can look her up. Her name is Ann Schreiber. Write that down. Ann Schreiber. Okay. She started investing when she was 38 years old with 5 bands, and she turned it into $22 million before she died. That she donated the 22 million she put into a foundation. That foundation has been paying for Jewish girls to go to college for 25 something years now, and it's going to pay into eternity because they have it set up where they just use the capital, they just use like the interest or capital gains, the money generated off of the base 22 million to pay for some scholarships for Jewish girls to go to college every year. So when we talk about people having a head start, that's the kind of head starts people have. That's the kind of reason, if we go back to the slides at the beginning, that's the kind of reason that white America has the $285,000 average net worth, because people been looking out for their people and they've been paying it forward. We got to learn how to do the same thing. So if you had invested, I mean, I got more results too. If you had invested $50,000, and people go, oh, well, $50,000. This is for my house, for my real estate people who always want to argue about real estate being better than the stock market. Well, 50,000 down would be what you have to put down to get a $250,000 property, because you got to put 20% down on a property, right? And then it's like, but I'm gonna get somebody to rent it. Okay, you're gonna get somebody to rent it out and pay the rent, right? So we're gonna assume. But if you have in 2013 put 50,000 in advanced micro devices, it will be worth $3.16 million right now. Now, the next time you see a house that you could buy for $250,000 grow into a $3 million house will be the first time it happens. So don't talk to me about real estate compared to the stock market. Argue with your mama. I am all for having some real estate and some property to make you feel good. But most of the people trying to talk you into real estate are either never owned any real estate before, never been a landlord, or they trying to sell you a house. Now, here's another example. NVIDIA, that same 50,000 will be 23 million. Okay. Now let's talk about your personal residence, right? So, and I can say that because I put 50,000 down on a house before. I put $50,000 on a house. It was a $600,000 house. I put a little more than 50 in it. That house, I bought the house for 6. It's worth I think it's worth 1.2 right now. Okay. The house note was close. The house note was like $3,500 a month. That's where I got this parallel right here. So if you had invested 50,000 in Alphabet is the parent company of Google. and then you paid $3,500 a month, like you would have to do on a mortgage, right? That would be worth 6.99 million. Nobody's $500,000 house is growing to 6.99 million because everybody benefits off of Google. Only your family benefits off of your house. So let's get into these secrets now that I got your attention and I got that out of the way from our real estate people. And I'm not hating on real estate, like I said, but I swear by the stock market and I especially swear by options. So, and I also swear by artificial intelligence because I think that this is going to be the biggest wealth transfer in history. So let's start off and talk about 4 ways you can use AI as your secret weapon, your personal research assistant, and your very own virtual wealth coach. Okay. Y'all ready? Everybody got their pens and papers ready to go. Pens and papers ready to go, right? All right. Number 1, the first way we're going to use it is to relieve pain, right? We're going to use it to read charts because I know a lot of people, wow, all those charts, I don't know what they say. You do got to learn. You do need to learn how to read charts. But if you don't want to learn how to read charts, artificial intelligence will read, AI will read those charts for you. Number 2. Now let me back that up. AI will read the charts for you. I'm gonna do a demo later. It'll identify chart patterns. It'll identify support and resistance. It will identify potential breakout areas. It is the most thorough chart reader. It can read charts 1,000 times faster and 1,000 times better than any human can read charts. Okay. Use case number 2. You can use AI to analyze and summarize earnings reports. You know, we get these big earnings reports, right? 12K, you look at a 12K, you look at an earnings reports, 30, 40, 50, sometimes, 75 pages. Don't nobody read it. Most people they tell you when you take a course or when you start, you're supposed to read nobody reads that whole thing. But you know who will read it? Artificial intelligence. And they will summarize it and they will give you notes. They will give you detailed notes on it, right? So to analyze and summarize earnings reports. Number 3 way, back testing. Everybody needs to learn how to back test. And then once you learn how to back test, you use AI to learn how to back test, and you can back test and you can see how well, because I am so proud of us now. We're having these arguments. I see people arguing about the strat method and Elliott waves and Fibonacci's. You can see, and as you become a better investor, as you become a seasoned investor, you're going to develop your own favorites. Back testing is the method that you use to see how well your strategy has worked in the past. And you can use AI to do the back testing, to do 1,000 times more back testing and do it 1,000 times faster than, again, any human can ever do it. Okay. So, number 4, pre-trade analysis and strategy optimization. Okay. So it's like having a whole team of beautiful robots doing the pre-trade analysis for you. Remember earlier I said every trade you need to have a buy zone, a profit target, and a stop loss. Well, you do that. The way you get those numbers is by doing your pre-trade analysis. And you can use AI to do it for you. It's a total game changer. Like you see I put here and stuff to remind me, right? It's a total game changer at the end of the day. That's what AI is. And yeah, it is going to put, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie. AI is going to put a lot of people out of work, right? And then the people who know how to use AI the best are going to be able to make the most money and demand the most money. So you could literally take a picture of a chart, upload it, and then AI will spit out a whole report in less than 2 minutes. Y'all want to see? Okay, so I'm gonna show you how easy it is to use AI to get you a analyst report back on a stock. So here we have a Palantir chart. I'm just gonna take a picture, take a little snapshot of it, and then I'm gonna go over here to, I built my GPT already, and we'll add the file. So we'll go to recent, add that file, upload it. So you see we uploaded it into, this is my Charlie the chat, my Charlie the chart reader. So all I gotta do, upload it to Charlie. Charlie's gonna give me a 5-point breakdown on it. Bam, look how fast that is. I don't even know how long that was. Probably 3 seconds. Let's see what he says. And I can have him read a report to me. See how extensive this report is already. And let's see what he says.
El Presidente, let's dissect PLTR like a scalpel through butter. Precision, speed, and zero. Chart you just served up. 1, market trend. Trend direction, mixed, leaning bearish. Trend confidence score, 51-100. Prices caught in a range-bound chop since mid-September, but the recent rejection from 195 plus, upper range plus fib 23.6%, suggests short-term weakness. Current price, $174.01, sandwiched near the fib 50% level, 173, a key battlefield. Lower highs forming subtle distribution signs. The recent spike down to 164.50 shows institutions testing liquidity at the fib 61.8% retrace. Dash Mark 2, pattern and setup. Range breakdown, watch minor double top with lower highs. Pattern notes, chop range $167. 195, forming a descending triangle with a flat base near 167 and fib 61.8%, watch closely. Failed breakout attempts suggest weakening buyer conviction. Key pivot levels, support, 167.2, fib 61.8%, 176%. Resistance, 180 to 183, supply zone, 192 and 4, fib 23.6%. 3, trade plan bias, cautiously bearish short entry, if broken. Under $167 with volume equals breakdown confirmation. Targets, conservative, $156, stretch 142, fib 100%. Stop loss, above 183 back in bull range, or tighter stop above 180 for risk-adjusted plays. Bullish flip, reclaim and hold above 183 equals pattern invalidation and possible long trigger. Technical metrics, metric value for risk-adjusted plays. Sent above 10 EMA, flat, at above 21 EMA, slightly below, above 50 EMA, flat or slightly below, above 215%, strong long-term. 1D change, 1.09%. 1W change, -6.5%. 1M change, -10.2%. 3M change, 2D plus 3.1%. YT plus 12%. Sent from 52-week high, -17.8%. Relative strength 1W, weak. Relative strength 1M, neutral. Relative strength 3M, strong. Relative 6M, 1Y, strong. High. 5, strategy suggestion, rich forever option style. Sell calls at 190, buy 200, sell puts at 165, buy $155. Profits if PLTR stays in chop range, ideal if expecting sideways grind or slow breakdown. If a $167 breaks, run. Buy $170 put, sell $160 put, targeting drop to 156 to 160 zone. If PLTR reclaims $183, 185 with volume and momentum shift, start eyeing 2026 leaps 200 seen accumulation on dips. Open quote, reversal prep, leaps watch list, close quote. Open quote, breakdown play, bear put spread, close quote. Open quote, neutral to bearish, iron condor, close quote. PLTR is lurking near the edge of a move. The levels are locked and loaded. If $167 breaks, it's game on for bears. If bulls push it over $183, flip the chessboard. Let me know if you want to prep the IV analysis or flow confirmation next.
So you can see exactly what I was talking about, how fast. It probably took me an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours to get this much research out of the chart and do this much homework. And now we're getting it done. And what was that? Not even 5 minutes. I think it was about 4 minutes and 50 seconds. So, all right. So let's recap, right? Did you just learn? You just learned one, how to use it as your research assistant. Two, how to use it as how to use AI to read charts. Three, how to use AI to back test. And then number four, how to use AI. What was it say? Number four, how to use AI to do pre-trade analysis, right? So, in a nutshell, AI is not meant to be your enemy. It's meant to make you more efficient and more productive. Okay. So that's what we're here to do, is to show you how to use AI to be more productive. Okay. So let me ask you now, do I have your permission to show you how to monetize AI? Show you how I monetize AI. Show you how to get that bag. I get y'all permission for that? Are you good? Y'all good with that? Quiet in the chat, right? Y'all some quiet people. It's all right though. I'm gonna make y'all talk. Get y'all there, right? We are secret number 2. Let's talk about 5 option strategies that you can use to combine. You can combine to generate double-digit returns and make $10,000 plus per month. I know that's what most of y'all came here for. Everybody like, oh, but anyway, show me how to get to the money, right? All right, I'm gonna show you how to get to the money. We're gonna talk about number 1. Cash flow number 1, long calls. What's a long call? So most of y'all know, if you hear, I'm assuming most of y'all know what it is, but I'm gonna explain it for the people who don't. A call option is an option that gives you the right. It's a contract that gives you the right, but not the obligation to buy 100 shares of stock at a predetermined price within a certain time window. Okay. Keywords being, it gives you the right, but not the obligation. That means you don't have to buy the stock, but you can buy the stock if you want to, and you can buy it for whatever price is in the contract. Something they call a strike price. So the whole idea and how you make money with a call option is the strike price needs to be lower than the actual price of the stock. So what happens is you buy a call option with a strike price of $50. The stock goes up to $100. Now you have a option that is $50 in the money, because you can buy that $100 stock for $50. That's all a call option really is. Now, what happens is a lot of people lose money because they buy call options that never end up going in the money. And that is how you lose. So you gotta buy the call options on the right stocks if you want to make money. Now, the great thing about a call option, it's an unlimited, it's no limit on how much you can make with it. Unlimited upside, and it has limited downside. The value of the call option increases every time that the stock price goes up. It's like having a lease with an option to buy on a house. That's why I look at it like a lease with an option to buy on a house, or like a rain check. That's the 2 ways you can think about it. But what it does is basically it gives you the ability to buy the stock at a discount if the stock goes up, and if the stock price goes past your strike price. Okay. So that's number 1, and that's the number 1. That's what you see everybody doing online. Majority of people online are buying long calls. Okay. So let's go to number 2. Cash flow number 2. Now, this is my favorite strategy. This is the strategy I use the most. This is the strategy that I use This is a strategy that I use most often. If it was only one strategy that I suggest people learn how to do, it would be bull call spread. Bull call spread comes even before long calls to me, personally. I think you're supposed to use a bull call spread before you do the long calls. Okay. So a bull call spread. What is that? Let's talk about the benefits first. It has limited return and limited risk. Okay. You're going to buy one option. You're going to buy one call option. You're going to sell another call option with the same expiration date, but a different strike price. Okay. And what happens is one of the options is for speculation. The other option is for hedging. And you use it to lower the cost of your trades. So the beautiful thing about this is, yeah, you do have a limited return, but you also have a predefined limited risk. And the best thing about it is you can double your money on a small move, on a really small sometimes on a $5, $10 move, you can double your money. So this is not one of those where we hear all the time where they're like, oh, to the moon. Oh, what are they like? Oh, I'm hold whatever, hold on for dear life. You don't got to do that with these are quick trades. You don't have to do that. You don't have to hold it for 100 years, and you don't need it to go up hundreds of dollars. It goes up a few dollars, you can double your money. And if you can consistently double your money, which means making 100% on your money, if you can do that consistently, you can build wealth a lot faster than buy and hold. When most people tell you, "Well, buy the index funds," you can, and this is actually a strategy you can use on index funds. That's the coolest shit about it. Plus, and this is the capper, you can make money even if the stock goes down a little bit or goes sideways. You can still make money using this strategy. This is a strategy I cannot stress enough. You got to learn how to do bull call spreads. Okay. So I'm gonna give you.
All right, y'all want to do another demo? All right, I got you. So I'm gonna walk you through one of these bull call spreads real quick, right? So let's go over here, look at the leaderboard. I see over here, this is look at CLS, Celestica. And we can see it's got a composite rating of 99, meaning it's outperforming. All right, I want to do another demo.
Hold on. So y'all can actually, this is a trade that it's live right now, so y'all can track it. It was I'll put the date on here when I actually recorded this video, so y'all can track it and see if it actually ends up making money and how much it actually ends up making. So I just want to start that over and preference this with that. Preference this slide.
All right, I want to do another demo. All right, I got you. So I'm gonna walk you through one of these bull call spreads real quick, right? So let's go over here, look at the leaderboard. I see over here, this is look at CLS, Celestica. And we can see it's got a composite rating of 99, meaning it's outperforming 99% of stocks. So until we really see a real pullback, I'm going to stay bullish, keep a bullish bias on it. And so when I come over here and I look at the chart, I see where the 10-week has been holding pretty strong. Is this the daily or the weekly I'm on? Yeah, this is a weekly. And so I can see where we at. That 10-week is 12%, 12.4% above that 10-week. And then it's sitting at 84% above its 40-week high, 40-week moving average, I'm sorry. So if I'm thinking maybe, because last week you see the range was from 275 to 346, and right now it's at 310. So let's just say I want to test that. I think it's going to stay above. I think it's going to stay above, or even let's run it where the 310 to 350. Thinking 310, test that 350 range. And so what I would do is I'll come over here and I'll say, okay, let's go to the option profit calculator. Let's go to CLS. Look for a play that probably lasts about 2 weeks. And so let's go over in here. Look for a 2-week play. So today, as I'm recording, this is November 16th. So it'll take us out to about the 1st. Let's go 28. Would the 28 be 2 weeks? Yeah, almost 2 weeks, right? 2 trading weeks. So what was those areas we said we were looking at? Let's go from 315 to 325. How about that? Let's see what that gives us. You buy the 315, turn around, sell the 325 with the same expiration. See, we got same expiration date, November 28, November 28. Different strike. You're going to buy the lower strike, sell the higher strike. Okay. So what are we looking at in terms of return? So $460 is what it costs us with a potential to make $540. So we got 117% potential return over a 2-week period. And so if I wanted to get more, all I do is increase the number of contracts, right? Because right now this curve controls 100 shares. Now I increase it to 10. Now I control 1,000 shares. But instead of it costing me $16,850 because I took in a credit of $12,250, it's going to change it, and now it's only going to cost me $4,600. All right. Now my break-even price is at $319.60. So long as it finishes above $319.60, I won't lose any money. I come down here and I look and I see it, and I'll move my stop loss changes the closer we get. And this is when you hear me talk about, you hear people talk all the time about expiration, break even at expiration. But the reality is your break even changes the whole time, and every day the break even point changes on your contracts. And so I like this returns potential 117%, which if you could annualize that and make 117% every 2 weeks, it would be about 3,571%, right? So that's a perfect example of this. Is, remember I said, oops, I messed up. Did I go to the next slide? I was trying to see if I could pause it because I wanted to give y'all some teaching points on that slide. So we go back to. All right, y'all want to do another demo? All right, I got you.
Go all the way
I'm gonna walk you through one of these bull call spreads real quick, right?
But I'll just check Celestica or CLS. It's $327 right now. So that's a trade that's in the money that did exactly what it was supposed to do. And what was the return on it? I think the return so far. Now, that being said, in order to get maximum value, I have to hold this trade through Friday. When we do the spreads, we got to hold through expiration on those. And so that's what I wanted y'all to see on there and see. But so you can see nice return, 2 week. This was a 2-week trade. It's a 2-week. Oh, now let me qualify that by saying you don't have to wait. I could close this trade out now and take it's at 65-75% profit. I could close it out now and guarantee my profit. But with the market slowing down, only having a half day tomorrow and then a half day Friday and being closed Thursday, right now I have no reason. There's no, and that's important. We got to think about the reason we making the trade. I have no reason to think that Celestica is going to fall back down between now and Friday. I don't have a reason. So I can put the trailing stop and I can watch it and I can have an alert and say if it comes back through 325, then maybe if it comes back through 325, now that it's at 327, that I'll close out of the trade early or even 324. But I'll pay attention, and that's what I'll kind of do. I'll kind of stalk this trade now and see how it's moving now that it's moved into the money where I wanted it to move. And like I said, this is really the only, now I know I brought y'all here saying you need to have a bag and you need to have a whole toolbox versus a whole toolbox of trades, but the bull call spread is multi-dimensional. And like I said, it's something it's a foundation, especially if you hear Rich Forever and you get the trade alert program. Most of the trades I'm gonna give you is gonna be bull call spreads especially when we in a bull markets like we in right now. Okay. So I just want to qualify that and say, all that being said, income strategy number 3, bear call spread. Okay. So now with a bear call spread, think about the 3 things. There's 3 key words in there. Bear call spreads. Bear, meaning this is a strategy that you use to make money when the market is going down. Okay. Remember, I promised earlier that I was going to show you how to make money even if the market goes down, or barely moves. So this is a strategy you use. This is how you make money when the market goes down or barely moves and goes sideways. What we're going to do is we're going to sell calls that we expect to expire worthless. That's what's really behind this strategy. Okay. So bear call spread. Bear strategy, we using call. Spreads mean we're going to use more than one option. Okay. So bear call spread. So this is what I call a recession-proof income strategy, because you can generate money even if we go into a recession and stocks aren't going up. You make money with stocks going down. So, i.e., recession-proof, right? Because there's no other thing that you can use to make money when the economy is bad, like you can use options. That's why this is the only way for you to actually build sustainable wealth. This is the only way to constantly increase your wealth. Everything else, Bitcoin is great. It go up, but then it go down. And most of the Bitcoin people, they got to sit through those 20, 30, 40%. They just got to take it up the ass when they get those 30, 40% drops. And then they be like, well, I'm just going to buy more. Their whole thing is, well, I'll just buy more. Dollar cost average. But they use the dollar cost averaging method. And so far, it's been working out pretty good for them. Don't get me wrong. But you can make more money doing this, because you can make money. You can make just as much money, if not more, when the market is going down, when you learn how to trade options. So this is another strategy. And this is going to be a recurring theme that you see, because I like trades with limited downside. And so you're going to see limited upside and limited downside. And we do the balancing act with that, where we have it's 2 things that I pay a lot of attention to. I pay attention to return on risk, what I call ROAR, and then the POP, the probability of profit. Okay. And so what I'm looking for asymmetrical trades. I always want to give myself some kind of competitive advantage. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do, is give yourself a competitive advantage in every trade. You're either going to have a competitive advantage on the return on risk, or you're going to have a competitive advantage on the probability of profit, on the POP and the ROAR. Okay. So that being said, bear call spread. So what we're going to do is we are going to sell a call that we expect to expire worthless, and then we're going to buy a call to protection, just in case we're wrong and the market starts going back up, because the market can go up just like that too. And so if the market is going down, we make money because both of the options expire worthless, right? So what we basically do is we sell an option for about $5, and then we buy an option for about $2. Now we got $3 worth of potential of risk where we could lose, and then we're looking to make $1 or $2 off of the option that we sell, right? So that's how it's designed. We are expecting, you hear people say all the time, 90% of options expire worthless. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. If 90% of options expire worthless, all people would do is sell options all the time. But certain 90% of X options expire worthless, right? 90% of options, let me qualify it. 90% of out of the money 90% of options that are too far out of the money expire worthless. That's a better way. But you know, most people, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Most people don't know shit about options, but everybody's trying to sell courses and everybody's trying to be a financial wizard. So they're gonna just talk you to death, and they're gonna tell you all kind of information. Some of it will be useful, most of it will be useless. It's up to you to learn how what you need to throw away. You got to have a what you got to filter. You got to be able to filter the information, because you got to take in the information if you're ever going to be successful. You got to learn how to take in the information and then filter out the waste and keep what you should keep. And that's what I'm gonna teach you how to do, because this is not a situation like at Rich Forever. That's what I built this forever in there. Rich Forever is about, we're gonna always be here with you to give you the support. This ain't one of those situations where it's like, oh, I'm gonna sell you something, give you something, and then you never hear from us again. We're building a relationship. We are building a bond. And as long as I can stay here and rock with you, I'm gonna stay here and rock with y'all. Okay. Now the next strategy, number 4, income strategy number 4, is the call ratio back spread. Call ratio back spread is one of it is our probably our second most aggressive trade. Okay. Now, this is a situation where we use calls. We're going to have because words are important. Call ratio back spread, right? So calls, this is a strategy. We're going to use calls. We are going to sell some calls, and then we're going to buy some calls, right? So that's but we're going to do it in a ratio. Before we were even. If we bought 2 calls or bought 5 calls, we sold 5 calls. This time, we are going to sell 2 calls, and then we're going to buy 4 cheaper calls with the money that we got from the 2 calls. Call ratio back spread, right? So what happens is we're using the options that we sold to pay for the options we want to buy. And what happens is we only do, now this is a trade a lot of people like, because it's got a limited downside and unlimited upside, right? Because what happens, let's say you sell 2 calls and you buy 4 calls with the money. Well, if the stock goes up fast enough, now you got the 2 calls that are covered. You lost money on those 2 calls you sold, but you make money on the 4 calls you bought. So you got to make enough money on the 4 calls you bought to make up for the money that you lost on the 2 calls you sold. I know it sounds like a lot. Y'all will learn more about it later, but this is a strategy you definitely want to do your homework on. And if you got any questions, you can hit me about it. You can hit me up about it. I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to do this strategy. I don't use this a lot. The market has to. This is a short-term strategy that I use when I expect a big bounce in the market. It's when I'm expecting a strong bullish breakout. I gotta have a news catalyst, something big, a new product or service, or something like a big earnings report or interest rate. Interest rate that we think is coming. So if I think we're gonna get an interest rate cut, if I think it's gonna be blowout earnings, or I think they got a new product or service that's gonna make things take off. Like, this would have been a great strategy. My son is a huge what is it, Nintendo DS. I wish I would have, because we went and we waited outside. We waited outside when they released the new Nintendo DS. I think, is it the Nintendo? Is it the DS? Can somebody help me in the chat? Was it the DS? It was a line around the corner at Blockbuster. And I said Blockbuster to tell you how long I've been around, right? I meant to say Best Buy. So a line around the corner at Best Buy, right? Everybody's out there waiting to buy the new DS. And if you look at what Nintendo stock price did a couple of weeks before the release of the DS until what it's done now, you will see that explosion, the kind of explosion in price of what I'm talking about. And so those are those situations that's something like that. When they announce a new product, that's when you want to get down with the call ratio back spread. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce you to cash flow stream number 5. The reason why this one is so dope, though, I call this the WOW method, the wheels of wealth. Wow. It's because you get paid 3 times. This is a triple income compounding strategy. Triple income, 3-in-1 triple income compounding strategy. All right. First, you get paid before you even buy the stock. That's the first stream of income. Then you get paid to hold while you hold the stock. That's your second stream of income. Then you get paid a third time when you sell the stock. If you don't learn no other strategies, you got to learn how to do this. If you don't learn no other strategies, you got to learn how to do the wheel. The wheels keep on rolling, 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 and they will keep putting money into your bank account. Okay? So what is a wheel? At the end of the day, all a wheel is a cash secured, so you sell cash secured puts, and then you sell covered calls. So cash secured puts plus covered calls. So what you do, you find a stock that you like. You wait, you missed it, right? Remember earlier we talked about the buy zone. This is how I keep you from chasing stocks and keep you from overpaying for stocks. This is for the stocks that have gotten out of your buy zone. Remember earlier on I was like, I got something for that. Okay, the stock then got out of the buy zone. It's too high. We don't want to pay the price. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell what you call a cash secured put for the stock that we wanted to buy. Okay. So when we sell that put, we are going to take in a credit. We're going to get a premium. Okay. Now we wait. If the stock keeps going up, that option expires worthless. We just keep that money in our pocket. If the stock comes down, we still keep that money in our pocket, but now we buy the stock on the dip. So this is, most people are like, oh, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, until they run out of chips, right? If they keep going down. So what we're going to do is, whatever our price of where we expect the dip to be, we're going to sell a cash secured put at that dip. If the price drops to that, we get assigned. Now we own the shares at the price we wanted, but we really got it cheaper than we wanted because we took in that premium when we got that credit when we first sold the put. So now what we do? Now we turn around and we wait. We got the stock. We sell a covered call immediately. We sell a covered call back wherever that price, near where that price was when it had got out of the buy zone the first time. Y'all see what I'm saying? So now what we done is we done sold the covered call and we done brought in a second income stream, right? We got a premium when we sold the put. Now we got a premium when we sell the call. And we're going to keep selling calls every month. We're going to keep selling calls every month until the stock goes up and they eventually call the stock away from us. And that's when we get paid a third time. So we got 2 premiums and a capital gain if the stock goes sideways for a little while and then goes up. Now, let me put the caveat there. We got to still trade. We still got to keep our basic Rich Forever 101 rules, which are if the stock drops 10%, we got to cut our losses, right? So that's our only risk is if the stock drops 10%, we got to cover our losses. That call option is going to expire worthless anyway. So this is the strategy that you have to. I know I said bull call spreads, bull call spread and a wheel. Okay. So those are the 2 that you really need, but I just gave you 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And guess what? It's more where that came from. I got more. I'm just showing right now. I'm just really just showing y'all a little bit about the magic of options and these spread strategies. See, when you see people online, buy the call, buy the put. That's all they know how to do. Buy, buy, buy. It ain't their fault because, that's what we've been trained to do since we was children, right? So let's do a status check right now. Let me do a status check with you. Let me check in with y'all. Have I shown you? I don't even know, but I'm gonna check the box. Did I show you 4 ways you could use AI as your personal virtual assistant? Did I show you that? Remember, I did show you. So we put a check next to that. Remember, I showed you. We can use it to read charts. We can use it to back test. We can use it. We can use AI to set up our trades. We can use AI for almost anything that we need to use it for in the financials in financial management. Okay. Now, did I show you 5 ways to generate income? I showed you the call. I showed you the bull call spread. I showed you the bear call spread. I showed you the wheel. And what else was in there? I showed you a wheel, bull call spread, wheel. What else was in there? I don't know. But I showed it to you. So now I got time to go back right now. Okay, so far, would you agree that I have done what I said I was going to do? I agree. I said I was going to do it. And I'm a man of my word. And that's what this is all about, earning trust, right? You got to do that know, like, and trust. So I hope y'all like what you're learning and you're happy at what you're getting in this class. Because I'm going to go now into the final stretch of today's program. Okay? I'm going to show you the 6 secret hiding places where you can find huge AI profits. This is what y'all came for, huh? I know some people came to learn how to use AI. Some people came to learn the option strategies. Some people came to find out how they use AI and these option trading strategies, what stocks they need. They want to know what stocks they need to buy, right? I got you. So I'm going to give you 6 places where you can find AI profits in 2026. 6 places. So remember I said, stay to the end. I got some goodies for you. Okay. So you probably have heard this before. If you haven't, you're about to hear it now. And I want to make sure it hits home because I cannot stress this enough. Up to 50% of a stock's movement can be attributed to 2 things. Number 1, the industry that the stock is in. That's because a rising tide lifts all boats. Have we all heard that before, right? A rising tide lifts all boats. Okay. So we want to get the best stocks in the best industries. Okay. And then number 2, institutional sponsorship. Ron, what's institutional sponsorship? That's a fancy way of saying that's where the big money is flowing. You want to buy what the whales are buying. You want to buy what the BlackRocks are buying. You want to buy what Vanguard is buying. You want to buy what the institutional investors are buying. The pension funds, the hedge funds, the police funds, the fireman funds. You want to go where the companies that are investing money for the teachers, the police department, the fire department, the colleges. You want to buy the same stocks that they're buying. And I'm about to show you where those are in this AI boom. And also, let me add a caveat with that. Did y'all know who the first millionaire in San Francisco was? Remember, they had a huge, and back in 1849, they had a huge gold rush. And it's San Francisco gold rush. That's why the 49ers are called the 49ers. That's why their uniforms are red and gold. Right? Everybody was coming out west trying to discover gold, trying to find gold. And so most people didn't find gold. Right? Most people didn't. But in order to, before you can even go find gold, before you can go dig for gold, back in those days, you needed 2 things. You needed a pick and you needed a shovel. The first millionaire in San Francisco wasn't somebody who found gold. It was a person at the bottom of the hill who sold everybody the wagons, the picks, and the shovels that they needed to go search for gold. And I say that to say that's the same thing that's happening in artificial intelligence right now. What I'm about to give you is the picks and shovels play. Hey, picks and shovels play. Y'all want the picks and shovels industries? I'm going to show you the same industries that these guys are investing in. These fellas right here. I'm going to show you where they're spending their money. So remember I said you got to be in the top industries, right? So the stock market is depends on what publication you look at. I use Investors Business Daily. They break it down into 200 different industries. They got 11 sectors, 200 industries. And I'm a disciple of William O'Neill. I went through his training programs. Wow, I can't believe how long ago. And RIP to William O'Neill. So I went to his training programs when I first got started investing and got in the stock market. I was serious about investing. And what he taught us is you want to be investing in the top 40 industries. So every week when I do my screens, every week when I do my back testing, when I go through my weekly routine, I go through and I see who are the top 40 industries for that week. And I really look at the top. I look at the top 20, top 25, right? And I'll look and I'll see if I see a theme. And so right now, the semiconductor industry is hot because you can't have AI without semiconductors, right? That's why NVIDIA has become the #1 company in the world. And so before you can have a semiconductor, you got to have a semiconductor equipment maker, right? And that industry is ranked number 12 so far for the year. I'll get a number for you. But when you see these numbers next to these companies right here, right? Laser Tag, Advantest, Lam Research, Clack, Nova. So that number represents it's what you call a relative strength ranking, which is a fancy way of saying how has that company performed over the last year. And so it's a percentile. It's on a percentile basis. So if you see a 95, then that means that company has outperformed 95% of the companies in the in the stock market. And so as you look, the top 5 companies in this industry here, 4 out of 5 got a score of 90 or better. It's like looking at it. You can also look at it like A, 90 or above is an A. 80 to 89 is a B. Okay. So this is now, so this is the recent performance of the company. So you can see 4 out of 5 companies, 4 out of the top 5 companies in this industry, 90 or above. Semiconductor equipment makers. So they are the ones who make the equipment that the semiconductor manufacturers have to buy, right? So we get into the real picks and shovels or the roots of it, right? And of course, if I'm talking about them, then next thing I'm probably going to talk about is the semiconductor manufacturers. This is who the semiconductor equipment makers sell to. They sell semiconductor equipment to semiconductor manufacturers. And of course, I did a presentation in Wall Street Trappers thing with this on Taiwan Semiconductor and show people why Taiwan Semiconductor was such a critical part of the semiconductor supply chain. And I think they have like right now 80% of the market. They got the market sold up. And as a matter of fact, they're building a factory. Well, really, they built this whole country's economy on the back of manufacturing semiconductors. And now Taiwan Semiconductor is building a factory out here in Arizona, not too far. And so for my real estate people, if you're looking to buy some real estate, I would say buy some real estate near the Taiwan Semiconductor factory in Arizona. Okay. But also buy you some Taiwan Semiconductor when you can get it at the right price. That's the most important is you want to make sure that you get the right price because you make your money when you buy. You make your money on anything when you buy it, right? So you want to this is a perfect, and right now, all of these things I feel like a little bit, the valuations are stretched on most of these. So they are prime candidates for the wheel strategy that we was talking about earlier. All these guys right here, prime candidates for the wheel strategy right now. Taiwan Semiconductor, Macom Technology, Semi-LES, Tower Semiconductor is interesting because that's an it's an Israeli semiconductor, right? And I'm not choosing no sides in between Israel and Palestine. I don't know enough about what's going on over there, but I do know like this company has been performing and they are over there manufacturing semiconductors. And it's interesting because they just kind of popped up out of nowhere on my radar. And now they got a 97 relative strength. So it's very interesting. And it's like, well, why are all these American ETFs buying Taiwan Semiconductor? I mean, buying Tower Semiconductor. So some interesting things there. That's it's fun. The cool thing about investing, trading options, stock market is like you get to be like it's almost like being a detective. The way when you do your homework and you start having these discovering these things and then seeing how they affect the world. I took a little tangent there, but anyway. Semiconductor manufacturing, 27th ranked industry. You know what? Let me see the number. I want to go back and give y'all. I want to give y'all some interesting numbers. Bear with me a second. Let's see how much these industries have done year to date. Give you some fresh numbers since we going. That's part of the benefit of going live, right? Yeah, sometimes we'll be able to look and give you some more live numbers. Now, they told me when I'm doing these webinars, don't teach too much. I can't help teaching. I hope y'all ain't mad at me for teaching. I hope I I hope it's interesting enough that I'm keeping your attention while I'm teaching. And so, if we look at, go back here, not where I wanted to go. So semiconductor manufacturing percent change year to date is 1.09%, and it has dropped to 66 rank interest. So you see movement. It's been having movement. It's dropped to the 66 rank industry. So it may be some opportunities in there now for us to see to actually get these stocks at a price or get these options set up at a good price. It might be some stuff in the buy zone. That's an interesting number. So now let's go back and see. Let's go back and see year to date what the semiconductor equipment makers have done, right? And so let's go to a quick way to do it. Now the equipment makers year to date up 44.54%. 44.54%. And they dropped to 13th, so they're not 12. This week they didn't drop down to 13th. Okay. So let's go with, what is this? 1, 2. This would be number 3, right? Semiconductor, fabless semiconductors. That's a fancy way of saying design. So fabless means that these companies do not own manufacturing facilities. What they do is they design the actual chips. They design their chips and then they send them to a company. They send the designs to a company like Taiwan Semiconductor and have them actually make the chips, manufacture the chips for them, because they realized that it was more profitable for them, they realized it was more profitable for them to design chips than actually manufacture chips. Does that make sense? And they have huge profit margins compared to everybody else in the supply chain. And so the companies that you want to look at right now over there are Rambus, Broadcom, NVIDIA, Monolithic Power, Credo Technology. 1, 2, 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 with a 90 percentile ranking or higher. And then one of the 4 out of the 5 is one of the best companies, probably the #1 company in the world right now. So you find that interesting. And year to date, it has done, this industry has done 29.55% return, 29.55% year to date. And their current ranking is 18th, still at 18. And so was that 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to go to a big one, right? I want to let the anticipation. What do y'all think the next industry I'm going to talk about? I've been semiconductor, right? But what are we using? We use semiconductors for everything. But we are living in now what we call, and I've heard people call it the AI era. I've heard people call it the digital economy. I've heard it called the information age. Information, aka data, is the new gold. Let me say that again. Data is the new gold. That's what everything is. Everybody wants your data. Everybody wants your data so that they can sell you something. That's what everybody wants, your data so they can sell you something. It's the #2, been consistently the second-rate industry all year long, and it's returned 94.11% year to date. 94.1. Look at that. 4 out of 5 companies. 4 out of 5 companies in the 90th percentile. So we got Western Digital, Micron Technology, Seagate Technology, Pure Storage, Silicon Motion Technology. It's crazy, right? 4 out of 5. You think about it. The only reason why you have Instagram for free? You know why you get Facebook for free? You know why you get YouTube for free? Because they want your data. They want your data so that they can line your info. They trying to line you up. They lining you up for Black Friday. They lining you up for the Christmas sale. They lining you up for the Valentine's Day sale, the New Year's sale, the Easter sale. They are gathering data about you. That's why they let you have a platform for free. Then they know what to sell you. And then it's easy because now everybody has to come to these social media companies and buy ads so that they could sell their products because they can line. You like pink boots, pink rain boots? They're going to line you up. The person who's selling pink rain, he like, I know where people who want to buy pink rain boots, where they're going to be at. They're just lining you up. And so data is the new gold. If you didn't learn nothing else, here, you have to learn data is the new gold. And I say that to say this right here, data storage, this right here, this is digital real estate. Okay. I know one of the homies got a whole program where he like, oh, invest in storage facilities. Guess what? The data storage facility is 1,000 times more valuable than them storage facilities that people put their junk in. Because this is not junk. This is actual valuable information being stored here. Matter of fact, companies are starting to companies are getting where they gatekeep their information. They're gathering their information and trying to make sure they have more information about their customers than anybody else does. And they don't want other people to find out about it. So when they're gathering the information, they gather it, they get to put it in their own data storage and they get to put it in their own data storage, clean it, and then structure it in a way that they know how to service their people. So you're gonna be getting offers like you ever see like, damn, how they know I wanted that? Well, the AI figured out that you was gonna be interested in it based on the things that you have been paying the most attention to. That's what the algorithm is really doing. It's studying it's studying your digital habits and your digital footprint to create a buyer profile. Okay. So data storage, everybody needs to get in the data storage market. Okay. Now, last but not least, the mining business is back. Drill, baby, drill, baby. But we're not just drilling for oil. We are drilling for rare earth materials. Okay. Fifth rank industry. Let me see if it's still if it's fifth rank this week still. It's dropped to 9. But so far this year, let's see. Mining metal ores. Let's go. Where are we at? Why didn't you change with that? Let's see what it's done so far this year. Mining metal ores. 38%. 38. What happened? I thought you was only supposed to be able to make 10% in the stock market. So we got 38%, 90%. We had one that was 1% underperforming. But these areas, right? So there are 16, I think it's 16 rare earth materials that they need in order to make to get the power and create the chips that they need to make the semiconductors. This is why you see those companies still, this is why you see the companies that are mining in Africa. You see companies, Dutch companies and German companies. This is what they over there doing. They basically they get in those precious materials, those rare earths out of the ground in Africa, right? You can't really do nothing about that part, but you can find a way to make money investing off of it, and then you can do something about it. All right. So mining, metal ores, the top performers right now, Chemical, Southern Copper, Rio Tinto, Denison Mines, Arrow Copper. Saw copper on there twice, right? Copper is super valuable. Anybody who's been in real estate knows, like, you just have to watch out. You have to watch out when your walls are open and you're building, because the fiends will come through, steal your copper, and then go sell it. They can because they can go. It's easy to go sell it right now and that's their little hustle. So there you have it. I took you through 4 ways to use AI, 5 ways to make money off of it, and then 6 places you can go get the change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different industries that you can use to make money. I'm gonna give you a bonus. Remember, I said I'm gonna give you a bonus. I'm gonna give you a bonus secret before I get up out of here, because the first part of that bonus is you can use investing is easier than it's ever been now. And you can use AI to do 80% of the heavy lifting. But the 3 reasons why most people lose money don't have nothing to do with AI. This is a mentality that you have to have. Number 1 is they go too far out of the money. Number 2, meaning earlier when I said they buy those cheap options, they go too far out of the money. The stock has to work too hard for you to make a profit, because every stock gets tired. Okay. The next mistake they make is they chase stocks that's already outside of the buy zone. If you consistently buying stocks out of the buy zone, you will eventually lose money. Okay. And then the third strike number 3, and these all have to do with my 3Ds. Strike number 3 is they don't give themselves enough time to be right. If you're going to trade options, options are wasting assets, and they automatically lose value every day because they lose some time value. So when they lose time value, the intrinsic value has to make up for the time value that they're losing. If you don't learn anything else here, Learn how to give yourself enough time to be right. Me personally, I never let my options get inside 30 days, especially if I'm doing an option that is an option by itself. I never let it get inside 30 days because once the option gets inside 30 days to expiration, now the time decay starts to accelerate. What does that mean? It means it loses value. It's going to lose more time value tomorrow than it did yesterday. And it's going to lose more time value next week than it did last week. It's like if you think about when you flip over that hourglass and then you see how the sand is going and then it starts to go faster, 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 faster. That's exactly how options work, right? So an option with 5 days left, with 5 days to expiration, is going to have more time decay than an option with 35 days left to expiration on the same day. So the way you offset that, you need to roll up, you need to roll out and roll up or roll down and give yourself more time. Okay, so I just had to give you that before I really get into this. So let's talk about where we at in this thing, right? Let me ask you a question. Good thing. How many of y'all would like my personal, exact, step-by-step blueprint for building a six-figure plus trading income? An income that will allow you, learn a skill that will allow you to work from anywhere, build recession-proof cash flow, and most importantly, take control of your financial freedom. So you could be the financial MVP of your family, right? And so also so you can take, most people are behind on their retirement. So this is something you're going to be able to do even in your retirement and take it. This is something you can do to retire faster and then actually live a better retirement because you can still do it, right? So how many of y'all want to learn from yours truly how to get that bag, how you can get the bag? Now, I'll be honest with you. What I'm about to offer you is not for everybody, but it's perfect for somebody. And it's going to be perfect for those of you who have decided that it is time for you to lock in and level up and get in that top 10% of income, that top 10 income bracket, top 10% income bracket in 2026. 2026 is going to be here. It's crazy. What are we looking at now? We 36 days until we get there now? If 2026 is going to be your year, this is the jump start you're looking for. This is a super opportunity. And all you got to do is this is a job. It's not really a job. This is a six-figure side hustle that you honestly are going to spend less than 90 minutes a day doing and have the ability to turn your dreams into reality. Most people can make way more money trading options than they can with their 9 to 5. And I say that to say this, it's not what you do at your 9 to 5 that's going to make you wealthy. It's what you do from 5 to 9 that's going to determine your level of success. Now, if that sounds like that's something you do, then it would be my honor. And I would love to welcome you into the Rich Forever family so that I can coach you personally. So that being said, I want to invite you to the AI Money Machine Challenge. How to make 30K in 30 days trading options part-time. So y'all seen, like I said, I'm a person who, and I know there's so many people out there teaching courses, selling classes. I know the holidays is coming. So I wanted to do special for y'all, put up a special price, have a special program to help you get a jump start. And so I'm a person who believes that I can see better than I can hear, and I can show you better than I can tell you, so you can see. I said 30,000 in 30 days, right? Well, you see, here's an example of me making 42,000 in 30 days, right? But 40,000 in 30 days didn't have the same ring to it. So I said 30 in 30 days, right? So how much is all gonna cost you? Little or nothing. Look, I'm giving you the Godfather deal right now. I put this together based on a premise of I was gonna make you an offer so good you'll feel stupid saying no. Okay. General admission is only $97. VIP is $197. Elite is $297. If you think you learn something here, if you think you learn something here, you learn how to make money here, what I gave you for free, you look at what I'm giving you for a couple of hundred, it's going to be ridiculous. It's crazy. So look, AI Money Machine 200K option trading challenge. Today's price. Today's price is not yesterday's price. Right, no. So you can scan right here. You scan right here and get yourself signed up. This is going to be live coaching. I'm doing this challenge live. You're getting a live training. Okay. It's not a recording if you get it on this one. It's a live trading. Let me say, did I say live? You're getting 5 days of live coaching. You're getting access to my Telegram where I give my done for you trade alerts. I'm going to teach you how to fish. And then I'm also going to give you some fish. You get the replays for 24 hours. You get a workbook. And then you're going to have homework each day. And remember I was talking earlier about my Millionaire March. Millionaire March, you get a 7-day trial. 7-day trial in there in my Millionaire March. That's where I do live coaching in there. I do I get my trade alerts in there. And I teach master classes in there. And I answer questions. And so Millionaire March is going to be the number one. It's going to be the number one community for traders and for people who want to get on the fast track to financial freedom. And so this is a phenomenal deal for $97. And I did that on purpose, right? I didn't want to cheapen my product, but I wanted to make sure I looked out for the holidays and I wanted to put it at a product. I wanted to put the product at a price really where it was less than you going to take your family to the movies or less than you going on a dinner date. Except for I'm going to show you how to make some money. Okay. Now, for my people who want to take it who want to go a little deeper, because I know some people always want to go a little deeper. So I doubled the price and I quadrupled the value. Okay. So you can see you get access to the 5 days of coaching. I value that at $500. Let's be honest. My son paid $200 for my son to go to Krav Maga, $200 a month for him to go to Krav Maga for the 5 days, right? And you get the replays for 7 days, and then you got a VIP Telegram where I give you my VIP trades, my VIP trade alerts, in the VIP part, right? Plus, after the challenge, each day, you get an extra hour of question and answer. And I'm going to answer all y'all questions. Y'all get in there. You're going to get to ask questions. And so anything that you may be a little confused about, we're going to do right away, right after the class. I'm going to do an hour of Q&A. That's another $500 value. So you can see you stack this all up. It's $1,400 worth of value for less than $200. I knew what I was doing when I did this, right? I knew. I was like, I'm dangling the carrot. So, I got one more though, for my people who really next level, for my people who, so the team I used to coach, my 7-on-7 team was Phase 1 Elite. And so shout out to Phase 1 Elite and Vegas Elite. And I put together an elite program. The AI Money Machine Option Trading Challenge Elite Program. So what you get in there? So let's start here, right? 2,100. Remember I said I'll show you better than I could tell you. 2,167% 1-year return. That's my number for over a year. If somebody getting you better numbers than this, then you should take their class, okay? But 2,167%, that's what I got when you've been taught that you're supposed to only get 10% a year. Okay. So how many years of 10% do it take to get you to 2,167? What would that be? I guess that would be take 216 years. That's crazy, right? I know it's crazy. And that's why I put together this elite program for my people who ready to go crazy. 5 days of live coaching, 7 days of replays, elite Telegram access with my elite trade alerts. And I know a lot of people be like, well, what's the difference between the general admission trade alerts, the VIP trade alerts, and then the elite trade alerts? I'm just giving you more trades and I'm gonna go through more strategies. And so the higher your level of access, the more I'm gonna give you to make sure that you're getting more value. And like I said, you winning at the $97. But for people who really want to get a jump start and really ready to put their boots on, the ground and get to it, you get an extra hour of Q&A. So it's everything that's in the VIP. Plus, you're gonna get a pre-event kickoff call the night before we start the challenge. We're gonna get a post-event bonus call after the challenge. You're gonna get 30 days in the Millionaire March. And then you also gonna get a financial freedom masterclass. And you get high performance group coaching. Remember earlier, that's why I took when I took the high performance coaching, which is all about bringing out the best, helping you become the best version of you and helping you show up as your best version of yourself in every aspect of life, right? We focus on getting clarity, on having the right energy, because energy is so important and having clarity, being clear about your goals and what you want out of life and what you are doing. So we are focusing on clarity, then we focus on energy and generating the energy to 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 take take a generating the energy to take action on your goals. Because a lot of times, because goals without taking action is just dreams, right? Let's just be honest. And so we focus on you generating energy and having good energy. We focus on you having the courage to go after your goals. And then we also focus on productivity and then on helping you become more influential so that you can have a positive effect on your community and a positive effect on your friends and family and the people around you. We basically it's leadership training. And so I put in because I look at this, I call what I teach economic survival skills. That's what I call this. I call this economic survival skills and financial wealth defense. If you've been around me or you've heard me talk about money all the time, money, more, the number one thing money does is money protects you. Money protects you. Okay. And so money gives you the ability to protect yourself. And so I'm going to be teaching you economic survival skills and financial wealth defense. And you're going to get a high performance group coaching call every day before we start the challenge. And then you're going to get the Q&A session every day after the challenge. So you're going to spend a lot of time. So so what this boils down to is y'all get 5 hours a game from me in general admission, 10 hours a game in 10 hours a game in VIP, and then 15 hours plus live game from me inside the elite program. So like I said, I've made this offer so good, you're going to feel stupid saying no, because honestly, you can make this money back with the trade that I just told y'all about. You make this money back on one trade, but you can still probably make this money back on the trade that I told y'all about earlier today. Or at least on one of those. How many stocks did I name? Because I said if you stay to the end, right? So hold on. First of all, let's go to, let me see. Let's go to, let me do this real quick. So let me put in the chat. Um, let me go here to page 4. So this is the AI. It's the live 5 days. It's 5 days. You're getting it live. It's different when you get a class live. I know y'all know that. Than when you watch and think, because you hold yourself more accountable when it's live, right? When you get the live training. And there you see again, 2,167% returns, right? Year to date, 581%. See the portfolio grow. What my real goal is to teach you how to make $200,000 a year. Okay. And so the challenge takes place December 15th through December 19th. Need to change that. It's at 4 p.m. is VIP. I mean, elite starts. So let me put that out there. 4 p.m. the elite starts. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock is when we start getting down with the challenge, and then 6 o'clock be the Q&A. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And so make sure I put this link in the chat for y'all. And then again, you got the QR codes, or you can go right there. And this is the way for you to level up. So if you're ready to level up for your 2026, get that jump start. $100 just for you to get in the game and change your financial status forever by linking up with Rich Forever. And as with all Rich Forever products, if you unhappy for any reason, I'll give you a full refund because I'm 100% confident in my product. 100% confident in my product. So y'all got the link. I've been on there long enough. I can't just give you, I had to give y'all a little taste. Now it's time for me to back up out of here. I got some other stuff I need to do and get ready for my holiday. I appreciate y'all swinging with me for these. Oh, and I will, let me get the list right now. The virtual background is gonna be something dope that just shows that it's gonna say elite in the background. It's gonna say either elite or VIP in your background of the Zoom when we're doing it. What other monies do you need to spend monthly, such as software? You know what? I need to add those up and put a tag on it. So it depends on what software you decide you want to use. I got way too many softwares. I need to cut down my software. I'll be honest with you. I got too much software. But you could look at somewhere. There's so much free software out there. You really don't have to buy nothing. But I suggest everybody have like a charting service. I use TradingView. I don't even know how much is TradingView. I use TradingView. TradingView has a sale right now for my charts. And so and then I use Yahoo has free. You can get prices for free at Yahoo and check it. But most of the stuff, you don't really need a whole lot of software. You definitely need ChatGPT. You need the ChatGPT that is you need a ChatGPT that you pay. The paid plan, I think, is $20 a month. I think my ChatGPT is $20 a month. I got ChatGPT and Claude though, because I go overkill on everything. But you're gonna get the benefit of a lot of this. You're gonna get the benefit of it because of me, right? And so I put a lot of stuff in in my trades and a lot of stuff in my products of information you already have. You're gonna want more and more stuff as you get into it. You might want more trading software. You may want more information, but the majority of stuff out there, especially getting started, is free. So you're not gonna have to spend a whole lot of money on software. You know what I mean? So that being said, let me go back to these QR codes and give you an opportunity. So if you're trying to get that QR code right there, just take a picture, take a snapshot with your with your phone, because I told y'all supposed. Did I tell y'all you're supposed to be on the computer? That's why I told you to get on the computer so you can see it better and take advantage of it. But then we got let me see, I'll get to the other ones. So you can go Elite, you can go VIP, or you can go General Admission. I made sure I made a deal. What's the smallest amount of money you can start with? I would say if you want to trade options, well, it's two ways to answer that question. It depends on how much money you're trying to make, right? Obviously, if you're trying to make, if you're trying to make, $10,000, $20,000 a month, you're gonna need to have $10,000 or $20,000. If you're just trying to make like $1,000 a month, $500 a month, you need like 2,500. I would suggest that everybody, I like to suggest that people start with at least $2,500. But I'll say this caveat. Um, the way I teach it, I believe in paper trading. So I come from, I come from the trenches, and my homies got a saying is they say you got to do 50 days. My Lincoln homies like say you got to do 50 days and 50 nights in the trap, in the trenches. I say that you got to do 100 paper trades before you're ready to trade with real money. I want everybody to do 100 paper trades before you're ready to trade with real money. And the biggest mistake I see people make is they wait until they get some money to learn how to trade and to learn how to invest. When you get money, money start burning your pocket and you too anxious and you don't appreciate it the same if you wait until you get it. So to me, you want to start this before you even have the money. You want to practice, get your 100. Now that don't mean you can do 10 trades a day comfortably. So really you could get 100 paper trades in 10 days. But I think you got to do, I suggest what I want to see you do is your 100 paper trades before you start trading with real money. That makes sense? Okay. So I'm about to get up out of here. I hope y'all got the links. And then you'll also be getting, let me put a little list on here. You'll also be getting an email with y'all free gift in there. And it's gonna have a stock list and it's gonna have my option trading checklist. Because remember I said I was gonna give it to you. So we got Marlon Stewart stayed to the end. Morpheus. I hope it shows when I go over my list. And Mr. Ralph. I gotta be able to line y'all up. Or go to my Instagram at Rich Forever University and email me your address so I could send you email me your DM me your email address so I could send y'all stock buying checklist, your stock watch list, and your option trading checklist. All right. Let me see. Zuri BK at gmail.com. You got it, man. I appreciate you rocking it with me. Have a happy holiday. Until next time, remember, don't be good because good ain't good enough. It's time for us to be great. And may all your trades finish in the money. I'll see you at the top. Peace. Let's see, Stewart. Okay, 73.
Amen.
All right, and I'm gonna get up out of here.